Yeah.
So I was lying to myself. See, the reason you stay stuck and I stay stuck and your listeners stay stuck in any area of our life is because we are believing a bullshit lie that we're telling ourselves.
Yeah.
Period, full stop, end of story. There's nothing else to it. Now, when I was 11 years old, the Islamic Revolution took place in Iran, and the moderate, forward-thinking, progress-oriented regime of the late Shah, Muhammad Reza Pahlavi, was overthrown and replaced by a theocratic, repressive, anti-human government of the mullahs. And while this was all going on, there were literal gun battles going on in the streets near my home.
Wow.
Now, my mom and dad, they were freaking out. I don't know, maybe you can relate to your mom and dad freaking out over certain things when you were growing up that they thought were not safe for you.
Yeah.
And their freak out, though, increased 1,000-fold one day when there was a big crash through our living room window. Glass flew everywhere, shattered, and this object sailed through the window and landed right next to my feet. Now I'm 11. I don't know what the hell it is, but it was some sort of cylindrical glass bottle and it was full of a liquid. And there was this rag and it was burning in the neck of it. It was a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
My father knew what it was instantly and he grabbed it and he pulled out the burning rag so it didn't explode. That's the only reason you and I are talking here today. And that's when my mom and dad said, "That's it, we're out of here." Now, it took them a couple years, but they made the plans and they got us out of Tehran, the capital city of Iran, and they moved us to Europe, to Athens, Greece, the capital city of Greece. And we were there as a way station because Greece didn't want us. And a couple years later, we were able to move to where I now live, Toronto, Canada. Now, you got to understand, Roy, at the time, man, I'm a kid still. I'm 15 years old. I don't want to leave my home. I don't want to leave my friends. Maybe you can remember what it was like for you when you had your mates, but that's what it was like for me.
Yeah. I want the freedom. Right. And for me, this was the case. I mean, I've been entrepreneurial since I was 11 years old, and I kept on getting into things. And then this freedom that I was seeking became the prison that I was living in. The 14-hour days, the 7-day weeks, the losing relationships, the looking at other people and thinking, how can they do it and I can't do it, right? And it just became this prison that's there. And what lights me up is to be able to take people from that prison and say, listen, these are the shortcuts that you can use so you don't fall into this trap. Yeah. And yeah, we go through life. I'm 30 odd years in business now, and we go through life and we just learn lessons and learn lessons. And we can't learn lessons from the things that we do well. We only learn lessons from our failures.
And I'm like, whoa. Remember, I hadn't worked in almost a year. I didn't have any money. I was sleeping on my mother's couch. My wife would kick me out of the house, right? And I said, wow, I don't have that kind of money right now. He said, all right, I'll give you some free coaching. I said, free coaching, man. That sounds great. Lay it on me. And he said, okay, it doesn't matter how much money you have. He said, well, I said, hold up. Didn't you just tell me that what I need is to pay you $5,000? Of course, it matters how much money you have. And he just looked at me and he said, son, there's 20 people lined up behind you ready to work with me. I don't need your business. You, on the other hand, need me. And I had to admit he was right. He says, well, let me reiterate, it doesn't matter how much money you have. What matters is how bad do you want change?
One of the things that really kind of brings me very emotional is that business owners just get so stressed about everything, right?
Yeah.
I ended up honestly 4 o'clock in the morning. I had nearly lost, well, I was going to go bankrupt, and I had bought an adventure center in Bedford. It was the best possible thing that I could have done. I have three IT companies and I had this adventure center, and then COVID hit. And at my worst, we had a 130-foot tower where the wind tunnel was inside, the indoor skydiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got up at, yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, and climbed up the tower. And I was ready to jump off. That was it. I was done. And I thank my lucky stars that I'd been doing breath work with Wim Hof. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did 3 rounds of breath work at the top of this tower with the sun starting to come up. And that was just enough to get me down, to actually let me take the next step. And I realized at that point that this wellness piece for entrepreneurs is so, so, so important.
Well, when I stopped lying to myself that I was a fitness trainer, because I wasn't a fitness trainer anymore.
Yeah,
So I was lying to myself. See, the reason you stay stuck and I stay stuck and your listeners stay stuck in any area of our life is because we are believing a bullshit lie that we're telling ourselves.
yeah,
Period, full stop, end of story. There's nothing else to it. And the lie I was telling myself is, you're a fitness trainer. You can do this anytime you want. Just like freaking drunks say, I can stop drinking anytime I want.
yeah,
I can stop smoking anytime I want. It's a lie. It's a disgusting, despicable, weak minded lie. And when I stopped believing the lie and telling the lie to myself, that was the moment I knew this was going to be different. And he said to me, he said, that's simple. All you need to do is triple your investment in your own personal and professional development. I go, how's that? He said, look, you are the most important asset in your business and in your life. And for your life and your business to get better, you must get better. Ergo, you need to invest time, energy, money, resources in getting better.
yeah,
And he said, how much money did you spend on all that last year? I said, maybe 5 grand. He said, this year you need to spend 15. Now you got to get, I didn't have a spare dollar, never mind a spare extra, like 15, right? Um, but I bought into what he said fully. And when there's a will, there's a way. The facts don't count when you're committed, as my great mentor, Mark von Musser says. The facts don't count when you're committed. And so I invested $15,000 in myself in the next year. I hired additional coaches. I joined another mastermind and I attended more conferences. And
yeah,
it was a stretch at first, but I ended up making $220,000. It was a leap from 75 to 220. That was almost threefold an increase in my income. And if you're listening here, like you you want to improve in your business, in your life, you must invest in you. We brought people in and it was an intense few days. And at the end of day 3 or 4, they were like ready to go to their hotel room. And Teresa said, no, 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 guys, I need you to wait another 45 minutes. And they're like all doing it, but they're grumbling, right? Because they love her, but they're also like, we just want to go. And then she had created a personalized song using AI and a questionnaire she'd sent out to everybody to get their origin story. These songs told their story in song with unbelievable lyrics and unbelievable melodies. And the very first song was for this woman. Her name's Jennifer. And I'm telling you, this is a top 10 hit. If somebody knows how to do that, this song is that good. And 1 minute into her playing the song, she started to realize this was a song about her, and she started to cry, this girl. And everyone in the rooms realized it, and they started to cry. And we played 10 of these songs for 10 people in the room. And by the end, when it was all done, nobody wanted to leave. We had to kick them out because we had to prep for the next day. Nobody wanted to leave. They all were just there. And the very next day, people were so touched, moved, and inspired that when they were given an opportunity to sign up in our year-long program, right, which is an expensive program, right? just shy of 50,000 USD a year. Um, all the people that were potential clients for it bought. Everyone, including two people who'd come to me and said, I'm not buying. I'm not buying,
Yeah,
man. This is good. We love you. I'm not buying. Just when you do your upsell, I'm not buying. They bought. They bought. Why? Because AI brought magic, but that magic was infused with the human spirit of Teresa, and that love married with AI blew everybody away. I believe that people are seeking authenticity from their vendors. And I believe that is the number one value they're looking for. And I believe that matters even more than the quality of the solution and the product. I believe people are willing to do with a lesser solution in certain cases if they trust the authenticity of the provider.
100%. 100%
And
agree
I've
with that.
seen it, and I've seen it, right?
And that's
And
going to be even more powerful when everyone's doing 90% with AI and they're not
right.
doing
So
it.
it's the number one thing that people want is they want to know that you're real and that you care, right? Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did. They'll never forget how you made them feel. Never.
Yeah.
That's my superpower, man. Like, look, I got ridiculous strategy and tactics. You and I didn't get into a lot of it today. There's a lot we could have talked about on thought leadership podcast guesting. I'm the world's greatest podcast guest. I've been on over 900 shows in 3.5 years. And I earned that title honestly because I've been on a lot of shows in a very compressed period of time, right? And when it comes to thought leadership, I'm the shit. What I know how to help people become seen as thought leaders and helping good people sell, but from the heart, not in a pushy way, but really sell, not bullshit sell, really sell. I'm the shit at that too. But those things, I'm not going to say they're irrelevant, but they don't matter nearly as much as the fact that I'm Napoleon Billou's son and I'm a professional believer in people